Welcome everyone to the watch list live. Again, it's been a minute since I've had a chance to talk to you guys. Straightforward. Hope you guys roll in and get a chance to chat with me as the big news breaks. I've been sitting here for about a few weeks following this trial. I think you guys know what's going on. I might as well tell you. Donald Trump apparently has been found guilty in the hush money case that's been going on for, like I said, a few weeks here, and I'm getting some of those details still now. The first thing that we jumped through was, of course, on Fox News to see how they responded to it. Um, Everything is happening all at the same time. So let's jump straight to what it is that we already saw. Let's see. Jesus, this is craziness. The first thought I had, though, was as much as it seemed like this was something that would happen the way that it did, I wasn't so sure that it still would. The guy's Teflon. Everything seems to bounce off him that he continues to see happen in front of him that we all witness with our own eyes. I want to see how Fox News responded to this. I had it up a second ago, but as I was setting everything up, of course, things get jumped around. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my God, this is craziness. Here we go. Fox on the trial. It's from Aaron. If we can get the sound coming as well from them talking about it. Let's see. Mm, guilty. Wow. 18 counts currently. Jesus. Each maximum of 4. That is where we are at. Guilty on all 34 charges. Again, I was listening to really fast what they were talking about as the results of this jury then rolls in. Of all 34 charges, again, unless I'm misquoting what I just heard as it was coming in, which has been a few minutes ago now, guilty on all 34 counts, but each count could carry 4 years each. Which, as I think that was Shannon Bream over on Fox News pointed out, it's I think it's doubtful that it'll actually go to that point where every count 34 counts 4 years on each, or even prison time, which all who knows. Because also, as we saw as closing arguments happen the past couple of days, the judge was telling Trump's defense lawyer as he had his closing arguments to not talk about the sentencing. That's my job. So that's going to be the next step after this now. And you can also imagine the protests that are happening outside, the cheers versus the boos versus what people expect to actually happen next, which I assume will be something like an appeal, a concern about that. Um, more complaining like he did every day that he stepped out of the court. But man, you guys have jumped in here for sure. I missed you guys on the chat sometimes talking about what it is that we've been talking about all the time. I've just been telling you guys about the madness that's going on in our world. But as it happens live, I was sitting over there editing as it happened. So I'm curious as to what people think, actually, the people's expectations for what they thought would happen versus what actually has happened. I got to be honest, the whole time I was expecting it, but I still wasn't expecting it. I literally was surprised, even though it came in that way. Let's see what else is being talked about. I'm going to scroll through Twitter in general. It must be everywhere. I'm sorry, X, and see where everything is happening with this. It must be the biggest thing talking about, at least from my threads. Let's see, there was more. I was also sent over the idea that Fox News is openly rooting for his appeal. Let's see if that's part of this thing as well too. We can imagine that that would happen. So as I load that up, let's see what else everyone is about here. There's more here. Hmm. Oh, the blame is now. So obviously, as you can tell, there they were speaking about it again. The problem was the judge. He had a weird tone the entire time. I think we're going to see where some of the objections to this ruling are going to come from. That being, it's the judge's fault. Donald Trump said that from the very beginning. I wonder who it is that they're following behind these types of conclusions that they're coming to. Maybe it was the fact that there was an overwhelming amount of evidence and it was adjudicated in a court of law in the United States, which we all like to claim is the best judicial system in the world, until it finally starts targeting people that we deem above that. We know what he thinks about that, that he's above the law. I'm not sure if this is something that, no, this was someone else talking about what Hannity had said before. I don't want to focus too much on Fox News. I actually want to focus on what is that we think will then come from this. Because, of course, the discussions around the trial were that this is the DOJ has been weaponized at the direction of Joe Biden to come after Donald Trump so that he can take him off of the campaign trail, as he had been for the past few weeks, only on certain days. So, what's the next step? After the sentencing happens, how much longer does it take before that goes down? I'm sure all this is getting run through, but I have to wonder, how much will it actually affect the outcome of the election, people's decisions whether or not or who to vote for? Because of course, when you have a former president that's running for president again, and he's got what it went from 91 to I believe 88 different counts over 4 different cases across the country of things that he had done, and as was mentioned as well from some legal experts, I'm not sure which ones, that this was the weakest of all those cases. If this was the weakest and it took them about a day and a half to 2 days to carry out and come up with this conclusion based on all that evidence, not a very good sign for the rest of these cases whenever they may be adjudicated. But if Donald Trump finds his way back into the White House, none of them will be. That was the whole point in the first place for him, dragging things out, delaying other things, and coming to these and coming into complaining every day of the trial that he was actually in court. What are you guys hollering at me about? There's great days in America people are talking about. What's up, you guys? First of all, hi. Everyone's saying hi. What's up? Good to see you guys as well. Jennifer B. Hi, Alpha Dog. What's up, you guys? But so I guess the question then becomes, where do people stand as people talk to other friends and family? I'm curious what I mean. I'm getting texts from my mother constantly over this. I'm sure that's what it is, and I haven't even looked at it yet. But the question then comes, how does this affect the upcoming election? It's still kind of early. We're only, about to be in June. These big surprises usually don't happen until later on, closer to election day, because people tend to forget what's happened. This appears to be one of those big things that people will not forget had happened. Will it garner him even more support from people who were thinking, maybe, maybe not? I think many of the camps that were against Trump, knowing how dangerous he could be for the country, versus the Biden side of people who are stuck to him no matter what either, they're in their camps. It's the folks in the middle that, for whatever reasons, from trial stuff to actual other topics that many of these two candidates are going to be beefing it out about, from economy to wars and international conflicts, which again, Biden's, I think, biggest hurdle is his inability to do anything, or his lack of a desire to do anything about this massacre and genocide going on with Palestinian folks. That's his biggest hurdle, in my opinion. Uh, but will that then be outweighed by some kind of news of this type? Let's see what else has happened with you guys. KMC, what's up? JR Live, they say. I'm going to be doing these a lot more, though, you guys. I just got to find the time within my day to get to this because the biggest things happen right when I'm over there talking about something else completely. Let's see what else is happening on Twitter. Let's see if I can find something. Let's see. Trump is guilty. Um, and if that appeal does happen, it won't be for some time, but people will still know the decision made was that this jury found him guilty. Let's see what else we've got. There's Rest in Peace America. That's trending. Stormy Daniels is trending. Let's see if there's something there. I want to see some more response directly from people that are on the ground. Here's stuff from NBC News. Let's. Oh, they went through all of them. They went through all. Went back to Savannah and Lester, guilty 34 times. There was zero not guilty decisions there in this. Where are we going with this? I want to see what that's Alina Habba from the other day. Here's the latest. This is wild. I apologize for a little bit of the sloppiness surrounding this, but I literally jumped from one chair to this one to get this started. Over on Spanish media, último, they say, finally, 34 counts. Here's Trump reacting out in the same area he always goes to. Hmm. Mhm. We've heard these. These are the same talking points. The whole country. These are the exact same sentences he's been saying for the past 8 years. Mhm. Well, you can fill one of those spots if they sentence you correctly. And that's Donald Trump. Questions of whether or not Donald Trump will drop out. I didn't hear that first question. Of course, he's not going to drop out. He did mention this will all be adjudicated on election day. Sure, it will. But again, we've got a few months left to still talk about what happened. For people that weren't paying attention to this trial as it was going, which is exhausted in watching this that I was doing, people are going to see the details that did come out. Maybe some, some juror will write a book, like some people do in high-profile cases. But continuing information and continuing, I guess, revelations about what is it everyone saw, what was put forward in this trial will continue to come out. That might actually be the worst thing that happens to him outside of these convictions themselves on all 34 counts. Will be people then hearing what it is that maybe the political and legal walks were listening to as it was happening, who really had time on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of their lives for the past few weeks to sit and watch everything that was happening. It's part of the reasons why Donald Trump came out, sent out Alina Habba several times before. I think mysteriously she stopped coming out to talk to cameras, then deployed his group of a bunch of red tie guys to come out and talk about it as well. They were panicked about this from the beginning because for this potential outcome, they needed to be ahead of the game, which is why now when Donald Trump talks about it for a couple minutes after he steps out, it's the same damn thing he's been saying for weeks. There's nothing new. This Soros funded judge, he's Colombian. He doesn't like white people. These same racist things that he likes to say, or conspiracy theory based things that he always goes through, are always about how things are so unfair to him. It's all on me. Never once did he say, I regret the things that I did. Maybe I did those things wrong. I assume this will be that way in the third. You might actually have some supporters that have probably left you that may come back if they understand that you have this much of remorse for the things that you've now been convicted of. Donald Trump's very upset about this. And there's more. He think he talked about it before. He did. That's the same thing. So there's Donald Trump. He's guilty. I guess the last question is as I mentioned from the top, what does this really do? We're going to find out as poll numbers continue to shift, and of course, as election day approaches. No, I didn't get any of y'all's answers on this. I apologize because no lie, my head is a little bit spinning over all of this. But yeah, that's all I got for now. I suppose I could chill and talk with you guys more, but I will probably jump on some old schools as things are coming up. Maybe even jump on some of our main show TYT things, because things are starting to roll on election as we head towards election day and through this whole campaign. And well, I mean, good news for Trump for now. He's not in court anymore. He can go back on the campaign trail and have his rallies, talk about how unfair it was that he's been convicted. Maybe he'll say 34 counts, all 34. Imagine the t-shirts that are going to be sold. Imagine the NFTs that he's looking to sell. Maybe there'll be some new Trump sneakers. Maybe there'll be a new insert in the Trump Bible about the gospel of convictions. two conventions. I'm sorry, 34 conventions, the book of conventions, 34, chapter 1. You read through all of them. I appreciate you guys. There's lots of smiles and happiness in the chat. I'll read through this later. But until more things happen, which will definitely be tomorrow, check us out on the watch list as usual. We put up multiple videos a day. Yes, I set them up beforehand. I talk about what's going on and I present it your way. But if lives are what you guys are looking for, I haven't had a chance to holler at you guys in a while. Let's do this more often. We'll see you soon. But check us out over here as much as you can, you guys. We'll see you soon.